2, 3, funky.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Welcome back to Fun with Tom, where everyone is welcome. I'm your host Tom, broadcasting from London as always. Hope that you're doing well. And today's guest is my friend Jack Valero. I hope that you will enjoy this new episode. Jack, nice to see you.
Ciao, amico.
Ciao. I'm good.
Good.
So, do you want to tell the guy a bit about yourself, who you are, and maybe how we met?
Sure. My name's Jack Valero. I've been doing music most of my life. I was in a band called the RPMs for about 8 years, and that is where we both met. Then the rest is history.
Wow. And so what are you doing right now? Are you just doing solo stuff? Is that correct?
The RPMs stopped about a year and a half ago, I think it was, because as often with lots of bands, there was 5 of us, and it just kind of, people started to have their own ideas of what they wanted to do and go off and do them, and it kind of sort of run out of energy, really.
Well, I mean, it's something that always happens when there is a lot
it's very
of people.
common. It's very common, especially with 5 people as well. And if they'll start having,
and also most of you are still young, so maybe one day everyone will come back. So you never know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
So
no, I'm joking. But
do you
go on?
Go after you.
No, I was just saying that since then I've started doing solo music.
Okay, that's what I was asking you. What are you doing now?
That's right. So I've started doing sort of stuff, and just doing the sort of the very classic kind of sad, whingy singer-songwriter guy with a acoustic guitar, which seems to go down really well these days. There's a big market for that, and I've also started my own vlog as well recently.
Oh, nice! Yeah. So if you wanna check YouTube channel, I'm gonna put the link on the YouTube video so you can check everything.
Yeah. I just started because obviously we're all stuck inside at the moment.
Yeah, we are indeed.
Yeah, so I just thought of something that I could do, just from the comfort of my own.
Yeah. Let's talk about a relation that we have, me and you, and after we talk about funny things that we have done and all that kind of stuff.
God, how long? I don't think we can cram it all into 30 minutes, Dom.
No, we can do it longer. It's fine.
We need a whole series for that.
So I'm just curious because how do you, when the first time you met me, which was your impression? What you say? Oh, this dickhead? Oh, like
no,
I had someone
handsome. I was like, who is this beautiful man? How can I be as handsome as him? Well, it's funny because I've listened to a couple of your podcasts in the run up to this, and I really, really enjoyed them. And it was interesting that you were saying about how when you started out and you were feeling sort of insecure about certain things, and you had to build that confidence. And you said that, you wanted people to look at you and be like, "Oh, wow, he's got it figured out. He works really hard, and I want to kind of emulate that." That's the impression I got, really. For the first few times that we worked together, that's 100% the impression I got.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I did a post on my Instagram page 3 days ago, I guess, and I posted a picture of myself with the desk that I bought a couple of months ago. And for a lot of people, buy a desk is not a big achievement, but from myself, from someone coming literally from another country and start from the beginning on a new country and start from scratch again. Because in my country, I was doing the same job, but I already had a lot of clients. I was doing a lot of stuff. But unfortunately, the market was not the right one for what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always say, you know me, I always say everyone can do anything. There is nothing that can stop you.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's just because we are afraid, and most of the time it's because we are afraid of what other people think. That's the main reason. Because I found out a lot of people are just afraid to try new things.
Yep, very often. And again, like, because this is another really good thing about when you're talking about this in your podcast is that you always repeat yourself and say, "I'm not saying it's easy." Because I think when you say this sort of stuff, people think you're saying, "Oh, it's easy." It's like, no, it's not easy. But the reality of it, or the mentality of it, is easy or simple in the sense that it's like the only thing that's stopping you is you. Quite often, it's really your own worries, and whether they're legitimate or not. It's often you saying, "Oh no, I can't do that," or "Oh, what if it goes wrong?" And often it will at first when you start it. Like, I'm doing the first episode of my blog at the moment, and the first few days of filming it, it's a very simple setup. It's just got like one mic and a phone, and it still went wrong the first few days because I just couldn't get it right with like the camera angles, and the microphone stopped working, and there's someone who's building a shed outside, so it messed up all the audio, and because and that's just how it goes when you start out. It will go wrong at first, and I think people sort of give up at that point. But once you get around it, I'm sure you found the same when you started out.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. So I can tell you, I'm gonna go more deep into these things because I think that a lot of people will enjoy these kind of things, not the normal stuff that I do about desk and microphone and that kind of stuff. Look, I lost my dad when I was 14, right? And for me at that time, it's been always difficult to try to understand which was my future. When you lose a dad and you are young and you have a brother that is younger than you, and you need to care about your mom and your brother, and you need to make sure that everything is okay, you have got a lot of things going on in your head. Your mind is starting just to go crazy. And I wrote a podcast. I wrote a post about this because at some point when I was 16, I was about to take my life because I said, "Look, there is no point to stay alive, and it's not worth it. Like, let's just jump from here." I was at the top of the balcony and said, I can stop it, and that's it. I mean, everyone will be happy. I mean, my mama maybe not, but the rest, I mean, no one will care about anything. But at that point, I can't forget that moment. I stopped it and I said, "Look, you know what? I'm going to give it a try, but this time I'm going to do what I love to do." And that point of my life, I was doing already like small party with friends and playing music, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I was still study as an accountant back in Italy because I've got a degree in accounting. So talking to my mom, I said, "Look, I wanna try to do the same job that you do, but at the same time, I wanna also do my own stuff with music and all that kind of stuff." And I did it. It was not easy. As I always say, I lost part of my childhood. But I had fun. I enjoyed what I was doing. And I sacrificed a lot of things of my life, especially going out to the friends and all that kind of stuff, because doing two different things is not easy, as you can understand, especially when you're young and you've got a lot of problems in the family, fixing with money and all that kind of stuff. So as I say, if I did it, everyone can do it. I know that everyone can have different problem, everyone can have different situation in the family, but as I always say, be yourself. Make sure that you listen people, but in the same times just wait what they say. Just give I always say, put in a scale what people say and say, okay, I think that maybe what he says is right or maybe no. So I'm gonna check if that things can be right or not.
No, exactly, because it's funny because I always say the same thing, but sometimes it's hard to take your own advice. I often find myself doing the exact same thing that I often tell people not to do, which is that sort of thing of trusting your instincts and things like that, and not, sort of sticking with something and not taking it to heart.
Yeah.
And but it's harder in practice. It's a lot harder, and I think it's sometimes people will look at you and say, "Oh, they're fine," "Oh, they've got it. They've got it figured out." And it's like, no, it takes loads of really, really hard moments, and you'll still have more, and you're constantly working on those. It's a constant effort. It's not like you just get it one day and then that's it, and it's over, and you're sorted. It's a constant effort.
Yeah. And I understand that sometimes people can just give up so easily. But you know what? You need to. I mean, you have got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? You need to try. Yeah. You need to try to do things. That's what I always say. You need to try. Try and try. If you fail, try again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And the things like I've seen so many people fail at stuff that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
When they get made redundant or fired, or I don't know, something terrible happens and they can't do they sort of lose a lot of the good parts of their life doing something that they didn't want to do in the first place.
Yeah.
And you just think, well, if that's the case, you might as well just do something that you really love. But a lot of time, it's hard for people to find what that is, because I don't think we live in a society that really encourages people to kind of find, what they have. Because even if it's like, if you enjoy being, like, I don't know, just working at McDonald's or something. If you're happy doing that,
that's what I say.
Then do it. If you're happy just having that job and you make enough money to earn a life that you're happy with, do it, man. Do it. Don't bother getting the big prestigious jobs that you're supposed to get or supposed to want, because if it doesn't make you happy, it's just never going to work. Because I think a lot of the time, like, the mistake I made when I was in the RPMs was that I thought, if I do all this stuff now, I will be happy in the future. I'm not happy now, but I will be in the future. And I think that was a mistake I made, because it's like, no, you got to figure out your happiness now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's always going to be in the future. It's always going to be ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you have to figure that out the first thing, and then go from there.
You know what? That's the problem of the society right now. Because people always think, I mean, there is not the things that I'm doing these things right now because I need to be happy now. As you say, a lot of people think about the future, but you can think about the future in some way about some kind of things, but not about your life.
But in terms of happiness and and being satisfied with life and yourself. So that's another thing I was talking to my girlfriend Lizzie about this recently, is that I really hate when people say, I'll never be satisfied, never be, always be improving, and things like that. And it's like, it's good to leave room for improvement. It's good, that is good to be like, I'm open to improving. I'm open to, to expanding and being better and things like that. But don't be constantly looking at that, because what that then creates is this kind of like air of you're never good enough. It's like, no, you always, like, I had that in school, I had it in music school, and often, like, when I was doing, sort of like writing workshops and things, and I'd say, I don't think this is good, or, the song isn't very good, or we shouldn't write it in this way, or whatever. They'd always come back with the sort of thing of, well, you got to always be improving. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think this is an improvement. I said, well, you got to always be improving, which is kind of the impression it gave me was, you're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough because you always have to be improving. And that's not a healthy mentality. It's got to be like, it's okay to be satisfied. It's okay to be happy in the moment. And I'm still working on that idea of, like, right now I'm happy and I've got plans for the future. You can still have plans for the future. And you can still think about the past and things like that. But I think so often, I do this all the time. So often people just miss what's happening right now, because they're always thinking about the future, or they're thinking about the past, always.
I think that a lot of people don't give the right, how do you say in English, the right description to the word happiness, right? The right meaning. Because I see people that maybe they're happy because they buy a watch of £10,000, or maybe they buy a car of 45,000 pounds. You know what I mean? I am happy if I'm going out with my girlfriend. I just have a nice dinner. Or I just go out, have work, and that's it. Have a chat. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's really happiness, though. In all honesty, when you have people like that who say, and when I think particularly, maybe if they bought the watch, something materialistic, and kept it private to themselves, then I'd be like, okay, fair enough, because they're doing that for them. But it's when if someone buys something materialistic and then they have to tell everybody, they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it to show. They're kind of almost perpetuating the idea of happiness.
Right.
Because I think if people are really happy, they're often a lot quieter about it. Because being happy is a calming, more sedate feeling. You feel at peace when you're happy. You don't feel like you have to tell everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah. That's a nice. Yeah, that's a nice view, actually. Yeah.
So I don't trust people who are like that.
Right. Okay. Okay. So it's more about, as you're saying, it's more about how it's nowadays on Instagram. That everyone put like just the good part of what is happening in their life.
Yeah, you can put the edited version of your life. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Nice. So now that you are just doing more stuff for yourself as a singer-songwriter, right? Do you think that working as a solo artist, you will be more concentrated on write what you want to do, rather than before you were writing something for the band?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because what's weird is like, again, with the whole sort of like presenting your edited self and the idea that it looks like it's all easy and like you have it all figured out. Like with the vlog I'm doing at the moment, and I posted a music video today, and people always saying, "Oh, you're doing so well," and it just kind of all looks like I've got it all together. But that took like 2 years. Like when the band ended, because when I was in the band, I was in it for a very, very long time, and it was pretty much it just kind of encapsulated my entire life and existence. And to have that stop suddenly, I was so lost, and I'd completely lost any sense of direction of what to do, and I couldn't imagine myself doing anything. Like I'd kind of lost that kind of, you have that vision of the future of what you're working towards. I'd completely lost that, and it was very, very upsetting, and it was very, very dark sort of time for me, and I started to fill it with basically with kind of too much drugs and partying, and that got sort of very sort of dark at moments, and I had a sort of time when I suddenly was like, okay, right, this has gotten out of control now. I need to stop this. I need to figure out what are my priorities in life and what am I going to focus on, and what am I going to do? What am I going to achieve? And now I'm on the other side of it, and it's fine. But it took 2 years of being completely lost, and feeling very, very low, and having no idea what I was doing or what I'm going to do next. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got to go through that kind of place of complete like disarray, and then come out the other side.
Right. Yeah. I can say that I can relate more or less to these things, because
most people do, I think. Most people who sort of are ambitious do, I think.
Yeah. What happened to me was I started to gain weight. I didn't use drug and stuff, but I started to eat. So I think that was like 150 kilos at some point of my life.
You have shown me a picture, actually.
Yeah.
And because now you're like, you're basically have the body of Hercules.
Well, I mean, no, but I am the kind of guys that like to be in shape and do good training, eat good food, and all that kind of stuff. So as you changed, and now you say you're happy, the same thing is for myself, and I found myself more happy with my body and with my mindset as well.
Yeah. And it's funny because with the eating, obviously that's not seen as much of a scary thing. Like, if I say to people, "Oh yeah, I got too into drugs," people are like, "Oh wow, oh god, wow, that's scary. They say, oh, I used to eat a lot. People are like, oh yeah, it's like not nearly the same impact, and yet they're the same thing.
They're the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You just decide to use food.
Obesity is one of the worst things that can happen to someone. People don't understand that, because I think that all the media stuff, they don't talk about it. And if you see on the TV, it's all about drugs and
because it's almost more dangerous because it's not seen as danger or not taken as seriously. Because it's the same mental thing. It's the same thing going on in your head, but because it's food, it's not as scary, so people don't take it seriously. So then it allows people to do it for longer and be more damaging.
And
well, I mean, I would just like to say that whoever's listening to this podcast, if there's people listening to this who are thinking about getting into the music industry or doing a job that Dom does, you must keep listening to these podcasts and listen to this man, because he knows what he's talking about. And I've learned loads from him. And also, you are 100% a rarity in the music industry, Dom, because you're someone who knows a lot, knows what they're doing, a hard worker, but also you help a lot of people.
Well,
I try. It's very rare. It's very rare in the music industry.
I don't know. I mean, as I say, my past has been so difficult, and I've learned a lot.
Sure.
When I lost my dad, I didn't lose just my dad. I lost the side of the family of my dad as well, because there was a couple of things happening, so we didn't have relation with the other side of the family, and in the same time, when I was young, a lot of people was bullying me in the school, back in the school. So I was a victim of bullies. But how do you say in English? Bullies?
Bullied.
Bullied. Yeah, bullied.
If someone bullied you, but yeah.
So
that's such a common thing.
Yeah.
You know that story, because same with me. I had a hard time in school as well, and then that sort of led to me being more creative. And I think all the best and interesting people are. Do you know what I mean? They end up having a bad time in school.
Yeah.
And then it kind of becomes better. But it's funny because, like, when you say that you were bullied at school, to me, I just think that it's hard for me to imagine that, because I'm seeing you as you are now. But you were a product of years of growth.
Yeah, well, I am 32 now.
Yeah.
So,
but you look 22. You look 22, mate.
Thank you. But it's been quite difficult to, as I say, to arrive at this point. And
but people only see you here. Do you know what I mean? They only see you here, and they think, oh, well, he's just figured it out. And it's like, it took a very long time, going through some really hard things to get to that point.
Yeah. Well, bullying was one of the problems, but I had this, I was not secure on myself at the same time talking with girl. So I spent, until I think my 20, I didn't have any girl. And it's funny because you know me quite good, and you know that I love women. I mean,
and they love you too. I know.
But the thing is, it's been. I don't want to say a problem, because I don't think there's a problem. Being insecure sometimes is something that can condition your life quite a lot.
Yeah, well, it comes back to what we were talking about, of the only thing that's stopping you is you.
Yeah.
Very often. Yeah. Obviously, people are in you have people who are in circumstances where they're stuck, and it's not just about their mentality. They're stuck for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But there's lots of people who aren't, and they feel like they're stuck, but actually, really, the only thing that's stopping them is themselves. And everyone faces it. They think that, like, people go into these things just completely confident, and they never have an issue. Like, when I've been on stage, everyone always says, "Oh, you always seem so confident on stage." And very often I've been, I'll pretty much every time be very, very nervous before I get on stage, and often during. So it's kind of, but people see a version of me that is the performance side, and they think, oh, he's never been scared in his life. It's like, I'm terrified every time, and I think people don't realize that it is scary, and as you say, it's not easy, and it will get hard, and you will mess it up. But it's about sticking at it, because it's what you love. and it's what you love to do. So it makes all the hard times worth it.
Yeah. And now talking about what you love, I sacrifice, as I say, my childhood and my good part of my life because I was doing this job that is taking a lot time of your life. And you know better than me, especially be on tour and be always around the gigs and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to find someone that can understand the way that you work and the way that your life works with your job, it's not easy. And I had this problem with my last relationship that I had 3 years ago, when I arrived at the point that there was this discussion that she said, look, there is two things: you change the job, or we come back in Italy, because she was from Italy. So I can have my stuff in Italy and you can do whatever you want to do it. So at that point I said, you know what, I'm really sorry, but that's your way and you do your way, and I keep doing what I'm doing.
I'm sure that wasn't easy, as you said.
No. As I say, it was not easy because
you knew it was the right thing to do.
It was someone that I was in love. I've been in love for like 2 years. But at that point, when you have got a dream, let's still call it a dream, because for me it's still a dream, to achieve something in your life, there is nothing that can stop you. But there can be someone that can say, why are you doing this? Like, you lose someone and you keep following your job, but that's the way that I want to live my life. You know what I mean? It's all about how you want to live your life, because you are in charge. I am in charge of my life, and that's what I want to do. And that was my decision at that time. So nowadays, if I'm trying to find someone, the first things that I always try to make clear at the beginning is, look, that's my job. I travel quite a lot. Sometimes I am off from 2 months or a month. So just try to understand. So it's not easy, but I hope that there will be someone. I mean, I have got, let's say, a girl at the moment in my life that I like.
Of course you have, though.
So we will see. But I mean, I think that for you is the same things. I don't know how is the perspective from your side as a musician.
What with having a relationship? Well, I'm in a very lovely relationship at the moment with my girlfriend Lizzie, and before I met her, I was very much in the sort of belief of, like, you know, if I was ever to have a proper relationship, it would be much further down the line when you're established, or things like that. Like, you couldn't have room for both. But that kind of, I've obviously changed my mind about that now, that it can work, because my girlfriend Lizzie also has big plans for herself and is very ambitious. So we both understand that we both have those things.
That's perfect.
And we can both have the room to go for those things, and know that we can come back and sort of reconvene with each other at the same time. That we could both, we could just do both at the same time. And recognize it in each other and respect it as well. So it can happen, and it can work. It's just, you just got to find that right person, really.
That's what I say. It's just about time, to be fair.
It's not often, and I was very, very lucky. But it is possible. It can happen, much like your dreams and ambitions. Much like all of it, really.
Let's go back about your music. You have got anything coming up? Nice things you're doing?
Well, it depends on how long this lockdown will last.
Right.
To be honest, because it's funny talking about sort of like dealing with the present and things like that. I was actually just started getting going with my solo stuff, and I had a lot of things in place, like gigs, and I was going to record some new tracks, and I was going to get them all kind of set up, and it was just, I had a lot of things in place and ready to go, and then obviously they all stopped because the pandemic kicked off. And I had a bit of, probably, well, it's not selfish, but I guess I felt a bit selfish about having it, but I had a bit of a moment of, like, absolute frustration, and I was very, very upset with myself, because I was just like, I had all this stuff ready to go, and I can't do any of it, and I probably won't be able to, get to do it for a while. But at the same time, it's like, it's through no fault of our own, but there are still things you can do. And like we're starting the vlog and things, and it was you got to be in the moment and just be like, okay, well, it could be a lot worse right now.
Yeah,
and
correct.
just got to accept that like the things you planned aren't going to happen now. So what are you going to do next? Even if you have everything planned and sorted out, it's all part of the trials and tribulations of doing this. I'm doing what you love, and you will have moments where you're like, I had everything ready and set up, and it was all perfect, and then everything just went through something you can't control, and it will happen. So, but you stick at it because it's something you love.
Yeah.
So it's not like, what, am I going to stop? No, I'm going to carry on.
No.
And I started a vlog now, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm really enjoying myself. So
yeah. It's the same thing for myself. I say, there's no events. Okay, that's fine. Let's find something to do it and make sure that we can. So I reinvent myself. You are reinventing yourself to do something new. And I'm creating this online training course from a lot of people that work on the business like me to try to help them with business expense and how organize the business life as a freelance. That I talk about this stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm doing back again this podcast that I stopped to do for 1 year because I was busy and coming back to do more YouTube stuff. So I'm trying to keep myself busy. And when will be the time to come back, I will start to do what I was doing before.
Because the whole world is in the same place as well. It's not as if just, I think that's the why I had a bit of a kind of like sort of almost like that, to give myself a talking to and be like, come on, mate, put yourself together. It's not like, it's not like only you've stopped. Everyone had plans. Everyone had plans and things set up, and it's been messed up for like the whole world. So, everyone's waiting to get started again.
So at this point, I'm going to say your focus at this time is just on your solo stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I'll go back to the question you actually asked me.
No, it's fine.
I'm good with tangents. So
I'm
just completely focused on being a solo artist at the moment. I'm looking to eventually get a band again. So get sort of like, because a lot of the recordings I'm going to be doing are going to have a band. But yeah, just focusing on just sort of doing my solo music, and I started the vlog as well because I thought it'd be a good way to sort of promote, myself as a personality, I guess, because there's a lot about it's a lot about that nowadays, isn't it? You could be a musician but also a personality at the same time. So I thought that was a good way to kind of help with that. So in terms of upcoming music. Well, I'm still releasing music videos and stuff on my Instagram and on my YouTube because I made a music video whilst on lockdown, which is all I did. I set this whole thing up in our flat, and I did it all in one shot, and it was like this big long trail of things.
Nice.
And that was for my for the demo safety pins.
And that's
on YouTube. And so I'm kind of just writing music, recording it, doing the vlogs, and kind of at the moment, kind of, you kind of, don't have that many options at the moment. So I'm just kind of taking it day by day and just still creating, music and content, really.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, that's good. So I want to wrap up everything with the one question that I always ask to everyone.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? That's difficult one. Yeah, I mean that's the
heck. Oh God, I don't know. Like anything could happen in 5 years.
Nice. No.
We could, for all you know, Dom, we could be in some Mad Max style world fighting over the last piece of toilet roll in the wasteland.
My God,
that used to be London. No, I'd be like, does this answer your question? And 5 years,
let's say 2 years. If you don't want to do 5, let's say 2.
I think.
Where you see yourself in the next couple of months when all of this will finish? Let's say this way.
How about 2 years? There you go.
2 years. Yeah. Let's go with 2 years.
A significant amount of time for something to happen, but not so far into the future that anything could happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess I'd like to see myself, having a proper audience and being on stage and doing more gigs and maybe getting a tour as well.
Nice.
Hopefully, I'll be on tour with you, Dom. Who knows?
Amazing.
You'll be the first person I call when I have a tour on.
Yeah, man. I would be more than happy. You know me.
Of course. We'd have so much fun. It'd be great.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Absolutely, mate. Definitely. I just pay for the tour myself just for the laugh, to be honest. But I think just sort of really get my music off the ground and sort of being, doing a lot of gigs and be touring and sort of really get some momentum behind that, really.
Right. Nice. Good. So guys, I want to wrap up this. Say thank you to Jack. Thank you so much, Jack, for doing this. And I'm gonna leave all his link from Instagram, YouTube on the description, so you can go and follow him and check his stuff. And I hope that I will see you soon.
Yeah. And remember, it's not easy.
Thank you once again for listening, guys. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify and YouTube to listen more episodes. And remember, be positive. Life is one.